One, I wanted to read about the Tao, so I'm gonna keep reading. I still have to shoot up too, so I'll probably do that in this video. But I'm gonna keep reading the Perennial Philosophy by Aldous Huxley. This is part two. Part one is already uploaded. This is on Taoism. The Tao is more the harmony of the universe, so it's removed from us, but it still pervades us all. Um, but same kind of general principle as Brahman. It pervades the universe, this energy, this harmony. In the Taoist formations of the perennial philosophy, there's an instance no less forcible than that of the Upanishads, the Gita, and the writings of Shankara upon the universal immanence of the transcendent spiritual ground of all existence. What follows is an extract from one of the great classics of Taoist literature, the Book of Shuang Tao's Zoo, maybe? Most of which seems to have been written around the turn of the 4th and 3rd centuries. Do not ask whether the principle is in this or in that. It is in all beings. It is the account that we apply to it, the epithets of supreme, universal, total. It has ordained that all things should be limited, but it is itself unlimited, infinite. As to what pertains to the manifestation, the principle causes the succession of its phases, but is not this succession. It is the author of causes and effects, but it is not the causes and effects. It is the author of condensations and dissipations, birth and death, changes of state, but it is not itself condensations and dissipations. All proceeds from it and is under its influence. It is in all things, but it is not identical with beings, for it is neither differentiated nor limited. So basically, here it's saying that we are, and this is really getting into how Taoism affects Zen. In Zen, there's nothingness, and then there's the temporal being. We are temporal. We are not the permanence. The permanence is the energy that's neither created nor destroyed, and we are simply we aren't really real because we're only temporary. The only real lasting thing is the energy that's neither created nor destroyed, Brahman, the singularity, whatever you want to call it. That's what lasts. We are just here for some time and we go away. So we aren't permanently existing. And I think that's what this is getting at. The Tao exists always. We incorporate the Tao in ourselves, but we are temporal. Um, from Taoism, we pass to Mahayana Buddhism. That's my favorite type, which in the Far East came to be so closely associated with Taoism, borrowing and borrowing until the two came at last to be fused in what is known as Zen. The Lakavachara Sutra, from which the following extract is taken, was the scripture which the founder of Zen Buddhism expressly recommended to his first disciples. Those who vainly reason without understanding the truth are lost in the jungle of the Vihanas, the various forms of relative knowledge, running about here and there and trying to justify their view of ego substance. The self related to your inmost consciousness appears in its purity. This is the Buddha womb, which is not the realm of those given over to mere reasoning. Pure in its own nature and free from the category of finite and infinite, universal mind is the undefiled Buddha womb, which is wrongly apprehended by sentient beings. One nature, perfect and pervading, circulates in all natures. One reality, all comprehensive, contains within itself all realities. The one moon reflects itself wherever there's a sheet of water, and all the moons and the waters are embraced within one moon. The Dharma body, the absolute of all the Buddhas, enters into my own being, and my own being is found in union with theirs. The inner light is beyond praise and blame. Like space, it knows no boundaries, yet it is Yet it is even here within us, ever retaining its serenity and fullness. It is only when you hunt for it that you lose it. You cannot take hold of it, but equally you cannot get rid of it. And while you can do neither, it goes on its own way. You remain silent, and it speaks, you speak, and it is dumb. The great gate of charity is wide open, and no obstacles before it. Behold, but the one in all things, it is the second that leads you astray. He also talks in here where two is a bad duo is where doubt comes from, because seeing two is when you get into the realm of ignorance, because it's all one. You can't see two. Does that make sense? Maybe. I don't know if it'll translate, but basically what I'm trying to say is that we're all one. So if you see two things, you're losing the one, guys. You're losing the one. The barbarian has no beard. That's a Zen cone. The barbarian has no beard. It took me a long time to realize what it was saying. The barbarian has no beard because there is no barbarian and there is no beard. It's just all one. So barbarian doesn't have a beard. It's just there. It's just Brahmin. uh, let's see if there's anything else I want to read. Not really. Okay, I think I got everything from the perennial philosophy I want to get to. So now I just have to shoot up, I suppose. I got Peppa Pig Band-Aids because at one point there was this Snapchat story that was like, Peppa, why are you in my enter thing here? Like, that people would put Peppa in their cereal and be like, Peppa, why are you in my cereal? And it made me giggle. And I used to, I've never seen Peppa the Pig, the show, because I'm not a kid, nor do I have a kid. But I've seen that Snapchat story, and it made me giggle. It was like a trend for a while. So now I got Peppa the Pig Band-Aids. They say words on it. I'm pretty excited for my Peppa the Pig Band-Aids. Oh, this is George. I didn't know it's their names. I don't know who George is. I only know Peppa. Peppa! Shooting up. What else can I talk about while I shoot up? I still got some time. We're all Brahmin. I'd like to awaken everyone to that fact. I'm not the first one that's tried, and I'm not the only one that's trying. Sam Harris has an app called Waking Up, and it's trying to tell you the same thing, only Sam Harris is an atheist, and I don't fucking understand how he's an atheist when he knows the truth. Like, he doesn't believe in free will, but he doesn't think God exists either. I don't really understand how that, like, you can make God not the Christian interpretation of God and still find a God that makes sense, or like, I don't, if you don't believe in free will, then what's I mean, I get we're determining it, but we're also God. I don't understand Sam Harris. I like him though. I don't think we'd get along though. It's okay, I'm never gonna meet Sam Harris. But I like his app. I suggest you get it. The free things are good enough. Um I pay him, but the free shit's good. Um, what else? What else? I've been watching The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime using my parents' account because I don't have Amazon Prime. And I like it. I mean, I don't love it because it's very like I don't like TV shows. There's something about like how they do the Mark Twain cliffhangers really bothers me. Um I hate cliffhangers. I don't know why. They're just so like they're so what was I going to say? Kitschy. Like they're so like I know they're coming and I know what the resolution like it's not it just doesn't it just hurts me when it ends in a cliffhanger because I'm like this is so elementary. Like make me want to watch the next episode with something other than a cliffhanger. Like just be genuine. Oh, like for example, that show that was based on the podcast by Duncan whatever his face was. Um the the show on Netflix, the cartoon show Duncan. Yeah, I thought it was Trestle. Netflix. The Midnight Gospel. The Midnight Gospel didn't have any cliffhangers. It just you wanted to watch it because it was saying interesting shit. That's the type of shows I really like. The type of shows where I have to watch them. Like I like Love, Death and Robots too. And that obviously doesn't have any cliffhangers because it's vignettes. I Love, Death and Robots is based on um it's based on heavy metal. I watched that too. Heavy metal is a good one. It's an anthology, but it's loosely connected, and it's from 1981. What else have I watched that's good recently? Oh, I loved. I watched this a while ago, but the dude that kneeled. What's his name? Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's special on Netflix is really good. It made me cry. I feel like I've already said this before, but Colin Colin Kaepernick, that was really good. Um, this is just what my mind goes to because if I don't have anything to talk with my parents, like they love television, so I just talk about television. I think I caught some because that hurt, but it's not bleeding, so I don't know what. Yeah, I only talk to my parents, so that's why. That's why it would either be therapy talk or parents talk with my brain, or work talk, but I can't really talk about work, so um, that's where my mind goes to. My mind circulates on like a couple of topics. P equals NP, Brahmin, the cis supremacy, books, and when I'm talking to my parents, television shows. That's it. And my cat. I love my cat. He's a really cool dude.